this should be good. Where are we? We're here. We're perfect. I think now I'm going to double check, but I think, guys, we're live again. I'm going to share the link as well with yourself. This is gone. Where's my channel again? MartaVerse. That's phones these days. You couldn't do without them.
No. I have two phones that I work with. I'm always around. One of them, because when I'm not on my desk and I'm out and about, one of them I chart, the other one I trade on. So I'm always walking around with two phones.
Okay. Do you know, I think you're just gonna have to share my my own, because this is over and the link for the new one isn't showing up at all on YouTube. So if you want to just share,
I can't share this link because it'll share the Zoom link and it'll be a mess.
No, share if you want to share it. We're back live on your Twitter.
Oh, okay. Let me go ahead and share that. Let me go to YouTube. I'll share your post.
You can share just my channel's name. That's really all.
Okay, perfect. I'll do that right now. We are okay. I have the one from 23 minutes ago though. Do you have a different one you posted?
Yeah, no, this I can't find the link. Just sitting here. We're live anyway. This is live. This is everybody can see us. Whoever is on. It's funny how I can't see it.
Okay, so let's see here. Let me go to your. I guess I can just go to your YouTube page and share that. Correct?
Yeah. See if you have the link there. It was actually popping up.
Okay. Okay, let me go here to your YouTube page.
Because we do have another, possibly the same link, I wonder.
Let's see.
Oh, I have a link. I have a link. Let's give it to the guys.
Yep. Yep, there we are. I can see you. I'm on YouTube watching, looking at you.
I'll send you the link in.
Now I can see me.
This is so fun, guys.
Let's see if we are.
Oh, you will have to. Yeah, you'll have to turn.
Let me get at that. Okay, that was yesterday's actually. I mean, that was earlier's.
Yeah, this was the one we had before. Well, what I want to do just real quick, just speak to you about what I see. One participant. Okay. So I'm going to show you my screen. Bear with me 2 seconds, guys, and you can see my screen now. I think on the stream. Those who watch me on my channel every week, they will be very familiar with my style of charting. And if you follow me as well on Twitter, guys from Discord would be very familiar. For some reason, I ended up opening this on the 3-day chart, but I'll show you something that I noticed here a minute ago. I'm very much level to level trader. What Bleeding Crypto was saying earlier.
I can't see your screen because I'm watching on Zoom, and if I open up on YouTube, we'll get that feedback. Can you share your screen on Zoom for me?
I can't. It's not allowing me. One participant.
You have co-host permission, so you should be able to just click.
It's just not letting me.
It's okay. I'm gonna watch it on my phone then, so that I can at least follow along with what you are saying.
Weird.
Okay, no worries. Go ahead and go.
Oh, hold on a second. I might. Yeah, there you go. There we go. Can you see it now?
It says, yep, now I can see it.
Okay. What I'll do is. There we go. Now you can see me here in the corner, guys, and I hope you can see. What would you see it on YouTube, guys? This is the kinks that have to be worked out before you go live.
No, that's okay. This is what makes it fun and interesting. Everyone likes looking at the bloopers, don't they? I know when I watch a show and at the end they show the bloopers, I always watch it. I think they're the funniest part. So this is the bloopers.
So I don't know. I think you can only see my screen.
Okay,
Nothing else.
that's fine. I can see your screen.
You can see my screen. Right, so bear with me for a second. This isn't going to take long because I like to just look at Bitcoin from A to B, from B to A. I've been calling this range an absolute head wreck. And in terms of those that are trading this coin, I really hats off because it's been just really testing a lot of people. What I noticed was, and I do like to look at the EMAs, we are sitting above the 800 at the minute. Yes. Double check just to make sure, guys, that line you see here, that color, that is the 800 EMA. And when you zoom in, and I'm going to just make this a little bit bigger.
I've never heard of that EMA. I've got to take a look at it. I've never heard of the 800 EMA.
Yeah.
Have you been using it long?
I've been using it long. Obviously, it's much better for like larger time frames, but I do use them maybe for just short time frames. Not even short time frames, but swing trades that aren't on a shorter time frames. On a shorter. You're entering a trade based on this for the next week or two, let's say. That
great.
kind of way. If you want to, use this as your confluence, it's actually, obviously I have my many lines, but these are staying there because I do weekly updates, just to kind of point out, where were the points where we kind of bounced a couple of times those weeks. But what I noticed that this is a 3-day chart. It is kind of acting as that, support, because we do have like few deviations here, but it's still, giving that line of balance. That indicator I turned on. You should also know me from using it, and I've been using it for over 2 years now. It's called Trader's Reality. This guy is an absolute legend in my opinion. I'm not going to explain everything right now because it's just he has his own channel, he has his own method, and he explains it very, very well. But the principle of it is, if you see a big green or red candle, eventually that balance has to be restored. And just looking around this area here, this you saw this big red candle here, and that green one and this one, it did balance it out. We saw another big red. This one is balancing it as well. Now the question is, are we going to see this push to grab all that money again, just to balance it, just to reclaim that liquidity? Usually I tend to look at them on a smaller time frames, on like an hour or 4 hour, to be more exact. But if Bitcoin continues on going higher, you see why 28 is just another level to look at. I don't want to say too much about long-term predictions, because we were looking at that, and I like what Bleeding Crypto, his explanations. So if you zoom out, lads, look at this. There is so much more room to go down when you look at this perspective. This is a monthly chart. I do agree, it's hard to predict the bottom. I do think it's hard to know at what point we're going to reverse. Possibly this is the bottom, but possibly it isn't. I don't like to concentrate too much on what's in the future. I like to kind of stay in here and now. Personally, I'll tell you why, guys, because I feel that I tend to sometimes let my emotions, sorry guys, where are we? I just want to make us bigger so we are actually on Zoom. There we go. Apologies, because I want everybody to see us now. Why can't we make this bigger? Oh, right, because I'm still sharing my screen. How can I turn off that sharing?
You should just go at the bottom where it said the green button. Hit the arrow and it should say. Excuse me. At the very top, there should be a little thing that says "Stop Sharing" in a little red button on Zoom. If you're looking at Zoom, at the very top, it should say "Stop Sharing."
Guys, for a second, keep looking at the chart. But what I wanted to say really is that if I start thinking too ahead in the future, my emotions take the best of me. I just prefer to really control myself, looking at A to B, B to A on a shorter time frame, rather than freak out. I want to just have a look here. Have we any comments? There are definitely a few people watching, and please start asking your requests, because myself and Leading Crypto, we're here to take your requests as well, and not just Bitcoin. It's great to talk about the market, but we also want to talk about what you want to talk about, guys. And let me figure this out now. It's just because I can't see the same screen that I had. Okay, there it is.
I can take off your share screen. There you go. You took it off.
I made it work. There we are. So back to just basically that, because I loved your explanation. I loved what you saw there. I have my own indicators that I use, and I like some of the what are those called again? Yeah, the indicators that you can find on TradingView. I think there is an extreme amount of them actually available.
What's your go-to indicator? What do you like? What do you rely the most on? Like for me, I'm an EMA trader, so I use the EMAs for entries, exits, support, resistance, on top of other stuff. But that to me is the key thing that I look at the most, are those EMAs. What's the one tool? What's the one indicator you like to use the most? It's your base.
My base would be definitely support and resistance, and between those, the EMAs as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
But I do absolutely, and I have to give that guy so much credit for that indicator, the Trader's Reality Indicator. His style spoke to me. He's an excellent scalper. I don't scalp enough anymore. It's something I certainly love and miss doing a lot. But I love the indicators for what it includes and it shows. These candles, the way I was explaining them a minute ago, I look back on my trades and there have been instances, literally those liquidity pools where you see that big green candle and you were expecting that to be reclaimed back again. You could nearly bet. He also includes like pivot points. So there is, again, he has a great explanation for it. I'm not going to get into right now. But you can trade. So in general, if you see an M pivot 0, if it hits off it, you could expect a bounce from that point to M pivot 3. So that gives you a great scalp.
Yes.
So from those, and they're very even levels. You can go below the pivot 0.0. It can go. There's 5 of them. 0.5 happened before, like massive pumps. But in terms of scalping and seeing those I can just real quickly.
If you could share with me his Twitter handle, I would love to follow him. I love looking for fresh perspective, different styles of trading that work for people. Again, not to replace what I have, but to complement what I have, to be able to find
Yes.
other people's opinion. You know, I say this a lot to everyone. None of us here are in a competition. I'm not in a competition with you. I'm not in a competition with anyone. I'm here to make money. And if somebody else's viewpoint can put money in my pocket, man, I will thank you and give you credit because you helped me advance. I think the only people that we're really in competition with are those market makers, are those institutions. And unfortunately, we're not going to win against them. They have way too much money and they're much smarter, but we can help each other preserve as much of our capital as possible and, put some money in our pocket. But we're never going to outsmart them. I don't think we are, because they're the house. They control all the chips.
Absolutely. And I will definitely second that, what you just said, Bleeding Crypto. I love seeing other people's perspectives. I love learning from their experience, seeing things through their eyes, and adding to my own encyclopedia of knowledge that I am gathering. And I don't think there's ever a time where I'll ever stop learning. But I also think there isn't a conversation, and I've had this not just with yourself, that had this conversation with other people, that a very good colleague of mine, Boris, he would say exactly the same. There isn't a wasteful conversation. You always end up learning something from the other person that you're speaking. It could be, you could be speaking to somebody that is absolutely, clueless about things that you are interested in, but they have knowledge about other stuff. So there's always something new to learn, and then add it to your own experience. 100%. I'm just looking here.
Yeah, I've got a meeting with High Block, and I actually found them from listening to a stream this week. King Cobra, I don't know if you follow King Cobra. He did a live stream, did an update, and he introduced that particular tool set that he uses, and it's a way to measure the liquidity pools. And I've been doing a lot of shorting and longing, and those liquidity pools are really key to understand where they're at in relationship to how you enter a trade. Because as you know, when you are shorting, you are going up against the market makers. And if there's a liquidity, if everyone is shorting, the market makers are not going to put money in your pocket. They're trying to take it away. So that's where we see a lot of those short squeezes. And those liquidity pools help us understand that relationship and where those liquidity pools are to give us a better probability of where price action is going, which is always going to be against the populace. The populace, if everyone's shorting, more than likely we're going to go up.
Exactly.
So I reached out to them. They're going to give me a explanation of how to use their tool set and give me some promo codes and things of that nature. And I think that wouldn't have happened if I didn't put the time in, if I listened to other analysts, if I thought that I knew everything and I said, no, I'm not going to listen to what anybody else says. How do you grow? How do you advance if you're not going to listen to other people's point of view? And there's so many smart people in this space, Marta, and we don't have, as individuals, we don't have the time to go out there and scout every single tool and all the knowledge is out there.
Absolutely.
I'd much rather lean to my colleagues who've done the research, and they'll give you the cliff notes and say, hey, look at this. And you're like, wow, I can relate to that. This is something I need in my arsenal. So I'm really excited about next week meeting with High Block and kind of understanding and diving into what they do and how they come up with this data to maybe help me make an extra couple of dollars in my scalping longs and shorts. You never know. At bare minimum, it's not going to be a waste of time. I'll be learning something new. Even if it doesn't help me, it's something new that I can fall back on, which from what I've seen so far, I think is going to be a great addition to my tool set. There's a lot of great traders out there.
I agree. Absolutely. There aren't really any comments for charts. I don't know, Bleeding Crypto, if you have any, coins that you look at, except for
You know
Bitcoin?
what? There was someone who sent me a DM and asked me if I can look at. Do you mind looking at XRP and give me your thoughts? Let me look at XRP.
100%.
I actually have a chart of XRP. Let me open this up here, and let me just go to Zoom, share screen. Let's here. Just make sure that you can see mine on OBS. Let me know when you can see it on.
Yeah, we can see it. Perfect.
Okay, perfect. So here is my, I apologize for all the lines, guys. I did an analysis on this, and I know it gets a little intimidating. I know when I first started and as somebody would open up the chart with all these lines, I would get so intimidated. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm never going to understand what this stuff means. And it's so validating and so awesome when you can actually look at a chart and know what that means, regardless if you do those lines or not. So here's a pattern that I like to use a lot. It's called our harmonic pattern. And typically when I do harmonic patterns, I do them in higher time frames, like 4 hours. 4 hours kind of I like to 4 hour a lot. Harmonic patterns. And what the harmonic pattern does is that it's, again, a way of measuring how things like to repeat themselves in cycles. Things don't repeat themselves penny for penny, but it's a very similar, there's a similarity to them. And when I look at these harmonic patterns, also referred to as an AB equals CD, I look at this harmonic pattern on XRP on basically this impulse. And in this impulse, we should see a repeat of this. And when we see a repeat of this, that's what this line is here. This is the repeat of this move here once you get that final retrace. And for me, the target box is going to be somewhere inside of here between 52 cents and what is this? Right, let me move this out of my way. 52 cents and 53 cents before we see probably some consolidation, maybe a little bit of profit taking. And I'm not saying that this is where it's going to stop. I think this, if Bitcoin, better said, continues moving upwards and there's still a bullish momentum, absolutely,
that's a good
there's
target.
No reason why this can't go up. But for the short term, I'm looking at this as a good target area. If you're in it, maybe you want to scale some profits. Maybe you want to pull up your stops into profit as well. And just take a look at this. Look for a cool down. When I look for a cool down, I'll look for a prior resistance area. Right now, it looks like we're building that resistance area. We're not really building, we're strengthening this resistance area that's already been established. If you look left on the chart, and the fact that we're stopping here and we have one more leg up, this tells me that this may be valid. So when you get in here, take your profit, and more than likely, you're going to see another move to the downside here to basically retest this area of prior support. And that's what price action likes to do. It usually likes to back test breaks, whether to bearish or bullish breaks. That's another tool set that I like to use when I am entering a trade. The back test of that breakout has been a really good entry point for me, or adding into that entry point if I was really aggressive and I went in sooner than I really should have. A back test breakout is a good place I like to add. If I'm being very, very aggressive, I'll go in sooner. Back test breakout, I add, and then I add on the way up, or I start scaling out some of those profits. So if you're listening, this is what I'm looking at, buddy. A breakout into here, scale some profits, back test in here. If the back test holds, I would start adding to it for the next move to the upside. I think XRP is a coin that's either you love it or you hate it. I don't have any attachment to it whatsoever. I don't hate or love any coin. If you can make me money, that's all I'm interested in.
That's all
Can this coin make? Is there enough people who want to buy it or want to sell it that can help me short it or help me buy it? That's all I care. I don't really care about fundamentals like other people do, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you're here for the fundamentals, good. That's good. You know, my hat's off to you. I just don't trade based on what it does. I trade based on the technicals. That's why I'm a technical trader. I'm not an FA trader. I'm not an MA trader. I'm a TA trader.
Yes. Cool. And let's stay in line with a love-hate coins. I was just asked to do Ethereum and ADA. So if you don't mind bleeding crypto, I'll cover ADA, and you can take
ETH. Let me stop sharing.
And let's see. Let's see exactly. There we go. I think this is it. So you can see. You should be able to see.
Yes, I can see.
Okay, and just let me This is not what I want to do here. Can you see? Let me just give me 2 seconds. I want to catch up on YouTube as well if people can see properly.
Okay, I can see your ADA USD, by the way, a USD chart. That's what I'm looking at.
So you can see ADA. Okay. There's about 5-second delay on YouTube stream. Okay, I think that's it. Perfect. So this is a weekly chart, and I have it out on the weekly just because I wanted to show you guys this perspective and why I have that line drawn around. Obviously, it is just up above the 39 cents, so it's not 40 cents exactly. It's just been, hitting. There's been a few weeks of it. I think it's ultimately the level for ADA to defend. 100%. It's just one level that if it gets broken, you are going to see a little bit of a panic. This could be obviously in around here between 40 cents and 30 cents. This could become your accumulation zone, but at the same time, look at this big gap between that level here and a level even up to the 15-17 cents. It's a strong coin though. It's one that again, back to the love-hate when we were talking about your XRP there. On a smaller time frame, I do like 4 hours as well.
Did you just say my XRP? It's not mine. I don't love XRP. I'm just teasing you.
Well, the guy that was asking for it, really.
Yes, I know.
I make jokes about ADA a lot. And actually, when you zoom in, guys, you will see we are kind of hanging that 39 level here. We've wicked down below to this before. It isn't a level I'm ruling out completely. I think ADA could come down back down to 39-ish, just below that 40 cents. And just to throw some indicators on, at the minute we are below all of the EMAs. This shows just a bit of weakness to me, even on a smaller time frame. And just when we were talking earlier on about the pivot points, this is great for scalpers. That's why this looks very busy. And anybody that starts with Trader's Reality, he's big into patterns. It's really all about W's, pivot points, double tops, double bottoms, and you have your rise levels and drop levels. It's his lingo. He is honestly the GOAT when it comes to this. But if right now you see this level has been hit here twice. If we're looking at the patterns, so this would be your local top here from this point on. We've hit in around, that's not even we never even really went back up, but what we're seeing here is we've had that drop down here, right? It could be your W forming here, and then we're going to see again drop down to this, back up, back again to that 40 cents maybe, because when you're looking at that pattern here, you have your so double top in this area. We're hitting off the 50 EMA, and as we know, at every time frame possible, price always goes back to 50 EMA. Doesn't matter, it always loves to go back there. And these are the pivot points. So we have it's great when you go into the detail like this, and if you're a scalper, so you have your daily open marked here on that, but this is a pivot point. So it's it's like a pivot point, a middle point between the ranges. If we see going back by the rule, we've rejected from M3 the idea is we should come back down to M1. And it would kind of coincide with the blue candle here as well, which shows stop volume. Won't explain again. I'm gonna let you guys watch him, and he's amazing. But it's a lot to take on. But when you listen, there is pretty clear what's happening. So you could be looking for a reaction in around this level, and where you get all that money from here around M pivot point 1. Whether we see a reversal, a strong reversal from around here, I don't know. But at the minute, I don't see ADA turning. What I actually like to do as well sometimes is look at RSI bleeding crypto. I don't use it often. And you do use fibs a lot, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I need to get into a habit of it. I know a lot of people are like, why aren't you using
so powerful, so insightful, so insightful.
There is a tool, and it's called auto fib retracement with algorithmic scale. I was only made aware of it recently. So if you're not comfortable with using, and you don't know how to draw the fibs yourself, where to go from, this is meant to be very helpful. I don't know, because it's actually, where's the, okay, so this is your local high, and this is your local bottom, where it's after hitting. Is that, would you draw the fib like this?
You know, it depends on the study you're trying to make. You can go from the local low to the local tops, swing high to swing low, or you can go from swing high to swing low. I do it from top to bottom. It doesn't really matter. It depends on, again, the study you're looking for. If I'm looking for to try to establish a lower high, I'm going to go from the bottom to the top, because I'm looking for that 618-706 to establish that lower high. If I'm looking for a retracement, I go from the top to the bottom, and I'm looking for a 382 for continuation. I'm looking for a 618 for a consolidation. So I guess it's going to depend on what your study is for that particular coin, and what you're trying to glean from it.
So what I like as well is when you put certain indicators on, and all of them kind of meet each other. The confluence. Yes.
The confluence is that. I love looking at that. I love finding confluence. It's an eye opener.
So in this case, we drew this fib using that tool, which is free, by the way, guys. And you have that M pivot point 1, and that is your 286 fib. It's 286, isn't it?
Okay.
Which is interesting.
236 is actually the default, but you can use 286 if it works for you. But the default is 236 and 382.
So 382 is just a little bit higher at around, and that's yesterday's low. But at the minute, it seems like it is in around the golden pocket. I don't think it's going to hold. Personally, I do see that M here, and going by patterns, just draw something here real quick. I think we're just going to, Jesus, this is so bad. We are going to see just drop down here, back again, maybe M to M pivot point 1. Be a reaction around here, like I said, just to get that a bit of money here. It's a very tight range for the minute. But I am right now looking at larger time frames. I haven't traded small time frames in ages, because I just don't have time to monitor those trades. But as you can see, look, this has just been like stuck in a range for so long, and that 40 cent. The high would have been here around 70, but it failed to break out above the 55 cents for a long time now. So it's getting narrower and narrower. It's trying to do something. One more real quickly indicator, because this is a daily chart, and I love this indicator, bleeding crypto, but it's not free. It's made by Trading Alpha, and it's called Trading Alpha, and this shows you basically what the trend is at the minute. All the red candles, obviously we know what they mean. There is directional candles, directional indicators in this. You can add in.
I've never seen this indicator.
Have you not?
No.
So this,
what is it? What does it measure? Fractals, or does it measure the pivot points?
So this is basically an indicator of change of trends. We are currently, I added the Bollinger Band here as well. The shaded areas indicate that there is a squeeze possibly happening, and there is going to be a reaction. So we saw this shaded area here, and then we seen the arrows, the indications that if we actually squeeze down to the bottom of the range, we seen this short reaction here. We had that little arrow with a push up to the top of the range. So that's why your confluences come greatly into play when you have your support and resistances, because you basically, that's where you will be looking for your points of your targets. Your targets, and you're getting your money off the table. So we are seeing here right now that this is again getting tighter and tighter. For the minute, all those red dots and that arrow is indicating us again that we are seeing a lot of pressure to the downside. There isn't a lot of strength. When you see less and less of the green candles, that means red dots, that means the strength is kind of disappearing, and there's a possible shift happening. So just to simplify it, because I think this is much, much better, the orange candles at the top are reversal points, but for them to be confirmed, that candle and that candle, usually two, have to close below that indicating candle. Same at the bottom, we have bullish reversals as well. I hope you didn't lose me because my computer is doing weird things.
No. I'm very intrigued with that. I've never seen this. It's pretty cool.
It's super cool. This has the bullish reversal indication, so that color would be to the upside. This candle again has to show you, obviously, if it fails, because this obviously failed. You saw a big red dot above this, another candle that didn't close above that candle, and this candle didn't close again above that wick either. So this was a failed reversal. They can be, they will indicate, they will show off, but it's just whether they were confirmed or they weren't. On a smaller time frame, I also look at them. So currently, as you can see, this is a 4 hour. If you're not too sure, going lower again into a smaller time frame. We had that reversal. That candle went below. That candle went below. They both closed. That didn't close because the body is just here. But definitely the second candle closed below this indication. So that's at least your first confluence. We're going lower. We're seeing as well the outer body of the candle is turning red. You're losing the green dots from the bottom. That should show you the strength that actually, this isn't over. We should be going higher. And you're seeing the red dots. So right now, I do feel there's a possibility we will go back down to 40 cents for ADA. But this is an army of people following it. But going back on the bigger time scale here, guys, I do think if you want to enter ADA for a longer hold, why is my question?
You know what? I have an opinion on that, and let me give you my opinion on what I think about ADA. I don't know, again, the fundamentals of ADA. What I like to look at when I look at history is how coins perform. And one of the things that I've noticed through the years is that people will see, like this past cycle, we had ADA at a penny, traded all the way up to, I don't know, a couple dollars. I think I don't even know how high it went, but anyhow, it went pretty high. When you look at the X value, it was incredible.
$3.20.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Something.
So now think about this. if you look back, if anybody can do this, go to CoinMarketCap, click on historical snapshots, and you can look at all the historical snapshots of CoinMarketCap back in 2017, and look at the months between May and just say November, and look at all the top 50 coins, just the 50 coins. Now write those down and look at this cycle. How many of those actually ran? And a lot of those did 100x, 200x. Okay. This last cycle, they didn't do as well. So I think a lot of people are putting faith in these coins because of how well they performed this last bull run, not anticipating, thinking that they're going to do even better the next one. Just because they did great in 2020 does not automatically predicate that they're going to do amazing on the next bull run. And here's why, guys. How many of you guys still have an iPhone 6? The iPhone 6 when it first came out, it was incredible. Everybody loved it. It was the best phone out there. Yeah. Do you still have the original iPhone? If your answer is no, why don't you have it? It was so great back then. Why don't you continue to have it? Because better things come out. That's called innovation. This space is nothing but innovation. What we thought or what was actually great in 2020 doesn't mean it's going to be great in 2024. You have to think, guys, there are teams of people much smarter than us right now inside of a lab trying to create the next best improvement to ADA, the next best link, the next best Ethereum. They're trying to improve on the technology that we already have. And some of those people are going to be successful. And a lot of this technology that we saw in 2020 is going to be replaced in 2023, in 2024. So with the new wave of people coming in, do you think they're going to go buy the iPhone 6 or they're going to buy the iPhone 14? They're going to go with the newer technology. If it's newer, better, cheaper, faster, they're going to go with it. So I'm not saying not to buy ADA, guys. I'm not saying that at all. I want you to put people marry these bags, and I want you to just put it into perspective. Think about this. When you buy something, what if it doesn't perform like it did in the past cycle? Because history tells us that it does not perform as good on the next cycle. So when you allocate your funds, make sure you're not going 80% into something that outperformed everything else the last cycle, because they may underperform most of the things on the next cycle. So just have that balance.
Perfect. So maybe you want to take on Ethereum?
Oh yeah, sure. Let me look over here and pull up my Ethereum chart here.
While you're doing that, I'm going to try something that I don't know if you know Nebraska Gunnar.
Yes, of course.
So he shared.
I love Nebraska.
Well, I'll let you do this. Well, in the meantime, I'm going to try something that he shared recently on, and I've been backtesting it every now and again. I haven't had a chance to do this with many coins, but he has a way of indicating when to buy and when to sell.
Yeah, the Gunnar X, the Gunnar indicator.
Using RSI on, I think, a weekly. So
I'm not sure the algorithm he uses, but he has a really cool indicator called a Gunnar X. It's very impressive.
Work away. So with your analysis, I'm gonna actually have to look back on the.
All right, guys. I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of technicals. I'm going to keep it real simple. We're going to look at market structure. We're going to look at retracement. We're going to look at the weekly time frame. I want the macro view. I'm a scalp trader, so I'm typically looking at the 10-second, 30-second, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15-minute time frames. That's all, because that's how I trade. However, when I'm looking at the overall picture on what's going to happen to an asset, again, I like looking back at history. I like looking at back lows to highs. So let's do the same thing we do with Bitcoin. Let's take the swing high and we'll take that swing low. We retraced and we came very similar to Bitcoin. We came to 786. Now, as I mentioned before, 886 is a level that I look at for Bitcoin. However, for altcoins, and Ethereum is an altcoin, it's the head of the altcoins, but it's still not Bitcoin. They tend to drop further below 886. So when I look at that, I look at 886. 886 to me is a really good area to start loading up, anticipating that I believe that this is going to go lower. And when I look left, I get some confluence to that theory. Just look to the left and look at this area right in here. I like this area right here, and I'm going to zoom into that, and I'm going to explain to you why. I like this area because this breaches 886 like it's done in the past, and when I zoom into it, I can then find the confluence that I'm looking for. Now, guys, when I look at support and resistance, I look at prior resistance as my marker for that new support. And if we look back at 2017, we zoom in. Look at that prior support, resistance, support, confluence right here. We bring it in over into 2020. Look at the way we have on rejection off of there. When we finally broke it, what did we do? We came back, we back tested it, and she took off. Now, it doesn't mean that this is going to be the bottom, but this is an area of confluence that I'm looking for. Now, let's back test my theory. Okay, let's look at 2017. Let's look at the low. Did we stop at 886? Absolutely. Look at that. We bounced perfectly at 886. And then what happened? We dropped below it. Now we drop below it. Is there any confluence? Let's draw a line. There's where we actually stopped. Was there any confluence in that area? And look at that. Lo and behold, look how easy this stuff is, guys. This really is not that complicated, guys. You don't have to overcomplicate yourself with a bunch of different indicators. I know I use them. Marta uses them. We all use, I think too many indicators, but that's just because we want some validation. But really, if you keep it simple, 100%. Support, resistant, market structure. Yes. Look at that. Right there. Look at that. Look at that resistance. Look at that support. And off she went. How easy. Again, in hindsight, I know a lot of people say, well, in hindsight, that's easy. Well, guess what, guys? If you think that was easy, well, then apply the same rule to this. Apply the same rule to what's going to happen, what's coming up next. If it's so easy when you look in hindsight, then utilize those tool sets that made it very easy for you to discover certain attributes and apply them so that when we move forward into 23, 24, 25, you kind of have an idea of where that roadmap is going to hit. It's not going to be exact, but it's going to give you, I think, a very good general sense. So if we apply that to today's market structure, for me personally, I am going to be looking at starting accumulating Ethereum for a long shot, because even though I'm a scalp trader, I'm still interested in long-term bags. So my long-term bag will start at $634 and dollar cost average as we go down. For the time being, yes, I'm hyper-focused because I'm trying to make money on a much different scale than most. A lot of people don't have the time that me and Marta have, or that I have, as far as sitting behind a computer for 12 hours, and this is my full-time job. So I'm going to look where the opportunity is. Is the opportunity right now for me to play the weekly time frame? It's too broad. Is the opportunity in a 4-hour time frame? For me personally, look, this is a 4-hour time frame. There's not much going on here. I'm not really making any money by playing the 4-hour time frame. But guess what, guys? Some people like the 1-hour time frame. They think, well, there's a little bit to be made. But think about this. Each one of these candles here represents 60 1-minute candles. Now, when you go into the 1-minute time frame, look at this, guys. There is a lot of volatility. There's a lot of action going on inside of a 1-minute time frame. So this, to me, is how I make money. Now, I'm going to share something with you for a quick second. This is my Ethereum chart. This is hold on. This is all based on 1 minute. This is all 1-minute time frame. All of this stuff that you see here is based on, look at all that volatility. Look at all that action going on. Now, can you make money on this? For me, I can. Look at all the volatility that we're looking for in the 1-hour time frame. I find it in the 1-minute time frame. Is it for everyone? Absolutely not. A 1-minute time frame, guys, is for somebody who's been trading for a multiple of years, or one of those savants that come into the space and automatically understand how it works and becomes 1 in a million trader that just gets it right away. I am definitely not one of those people. It took me years to understand, to be able to open up a chart and immediately within 10 seconds know what's going on. And that's a test for you guys. If you guys can open up a chart and look at a 4-hour time frame, okay, 4-hour time frame. If you can look at a 4-hour time frame or even a weekly time frame and instantly know if you're bearish or bullish, you're on your way to becoming that really good trader. And if you're not, then you still need some time to understand. Because when you train your brain to look at market structure, support, resistance, are we in a downturn, are we in an uptrend, all those things should come second nature, should be instant. If they're not instant, you need more time. And I'm not trying to brag here, guys. It took me years for me to look at a chart and instantly know, are we in an uptrend? Are we in a downtrend? Are we in a bear flag? Are we in here's an example. The moment that Marta looked at ADA, this is the first thing that came to my mind. Oh, this is a downtrend. This is a double top. And I'll tell you why. Let me show you this. Look at this. To me, boom, right away. This is the first thing I saw my brain. Within 1 second, I said, nope, I don't like this structure to long here. Could this break up? Absolutely. Yeah. But this here tells me that we're in a double top. And Marta went through a very elaborate way of showing you all the different really cool tools that she uses. And at the end of the day, what was her response? I wouldn't long it right now. No. And I looked at this right away and said, based on this market structure, now it takes more than market structure, and that's where we use all the other tools. We need confluence, we need confirmation, and that's where all the other tools come in. But my point is that you should be able to look at a market structure like this and not even ask, should I long this? Absolutely not. This is more likely, more probable that we're going to come down. What you want to look for is now confluence of prior resistance, which is going to be this right here for me. This is what I see right away. Boom. This is going to be an area where I think she's going to find support. And look, lo and behold, that's where she found support right there. Why did the candle mysteriously stop right here? Look to the left. That tells you exactly
look to the left. That's
all of this resistance and support tells you. See how easy that is, guys? Something so simple as that. And people like to overcomplicate it sometimes, guys, when it really isn't. If you just let go of the notion that you want to get rich by Thursday, let go of that notion. You're not going to get rich right away. And give yourself the opportunity to really dive into the technical analysis, dive into how we look at these structures and what they mean. It will start to click. But I think, Marta, many people come into the space, they think they're going to get rich right away. And they're such in a hurry to learn that they themselves become their own worst enemy because they don't give themselves that opportunity that they need. And that only comes with time. Everyone is in a rush to make money. And you made a really good point right now, Marta, about people that are viewing. If you look at the view count on Twitter, on YouTube, on social media, there's not a lot of interest right now. And that is why people don't make money in this space. People like to come in when things are topped out, when things are popular. Nobody wants to put in the time when it's a bear market. Nobody wants to put in the time when it's in the lows. Everybody wants green candles and blue skies before they become interested. And that's the wrong time. People who don't put the time in during the year and a half of bear market are very unlikely to make money on the next cycle. No matter how good that cycle is, you're going to make some money, but you're not going to make your full potential, in my opinion.
Agreed. I want to just show you real quick, just when we're still on Ethereum, that indicator that Nebraska Gunner, he shares.
Okay. I released my screen. You should be able to share your screen.
There we go. This is just to simplify it for you. What you're looking at is RSI crossing on a weekly chart, crossing in around 52. So I'm in around there, 51.90. So the idea is to buy when it crosses 52 to the upside and sell when it crosses it again and keeps going down. Let's backtest it, guys, because it's super. I think it's actually very interesting. I've tried it on other coins, and you'll see in a second as well that on Ethereum, because he has a great example of it on Bitcoin. That even here on Ethereum, it doesn't necessarily make great sense at some point, but I'll show you in a second. So if you are not comfortable with trading smaller time frames, I think this is actually a genius way to buy, let it go, and sell when you have those bells on. I'm going to add my own, suppose, bit of advice here in a second, where I would sell actually instead. But what I want to do here is show you guys, if you went with this style, you bought in around this level and sold up here, going by this indicator and this advice, let's just kind of you didn't have to obviously sell the top the exact top, but because we're just using RSI here as that indicator to sell.
You can just look the oversold. You can just do the over to the 70 point.
And this is where I would sell. This is where I would sell.
6,500 ROI.
But you're still,
ROI.
But you're still, if you are not selling, because look, RSI went to 99 here, right? But it went down. It went down to 50.
You buy it again. You buy it again.
You buy it again, and you sell. But if you are lazy, I mean, like, this is seriously no brainer. You're still making crazy money. Now, this is a level where obviously this went and failed. So your stop loss and all that, your risk management comes to play. This one, that's not a huge I think this is anyway 2018, is it 2019? Yeah. So not a great time, obviously, but look,
you still doubled your money. You still doubled your money.
You doubled your money. And the third time this happened was here. So, like, guys, these are rough only ideas, right? And you sold here. Look at that. This is a cool indicator for anybody that is not an avid trader, not someone that is like has time to trade smaller time frames. But I do think if you at the minute,
can I share something with you, Marta, on that first example you made, the 6,500?
Let me just only point one thing out right now.
Sure.
Right now, RSI for Ethereum on a weekly time frame is 42. Would you buy now? Would you buy now if you were using this indicator?
I guess if I was using that indicator, I would wait till it hits the market. To be honest with you, if I didn't know nothing about TA, and I know that when you buy 51 and it goes and it tends to go up, and the reason I do is I would wait is because if you look a little to the left, you've got those little peaks that almost made it but didn't quite break it.
Yeah.
So for me, I would want confirmation. Yeah, I would want confirmation. So I'd probably if I knew nothing about TA and I was aligned to buy, I would stick to that rule set because I don't know any better.
Because the market can honestly, at this point, still do two things. Either give us a bear market rally, which is obviously overdue, but it is only a bear market rally and we're still going to see probably lower prices.
Yeah, I think so. If it hasn't hit that marker. Now, what I love the example you gave, that if you don't feel comfortable in lower time frames and you are a long-term trader and you give that 6,500% example, this is what I like to tell those people that, like, just like you described, when to take profit. The best time to take profit, because at the end of the day, we don't know if it's going to go 65%, 6,500%, or 2,000%. Sell every single time it doubles. So you take half, you sell half of it, you've doubled your money, you're risk-free. The next time it doubles again, you take another half, and you now have 100% profit and 100% free position. You kept the original bag, and you've doubled it. And if it does it again, you do it again, and you continue to do that. If you continue to do that, you never have to worry about tops. You continue to pull profit after profit after profit. You can then, whenever it tops out, it tops out. You don't care. You just pull 200, 300, 400% out of there, free, risk-free positions, and you let it ride. And one of the things that's great about crypto is we've seen those coins that do 10,000%. I've seen a coin in the 2020 run called Pig. It did 10,000%. It was a DeFi pump and dump coin, but it did 10,000% in a very short period. There was an example of a guy who put in, I think he put in $30 and he took out like several hundred thousand. It was incredible. It was great. I wasn't part of it, unfortunately. I didn't catch it. When I saw it, it had already taken off so much that you know how it is. When you're a trader, you don't chase those big candles. And had I chased it, I still would have made like 4,000%. But one of your rules is you don't chase it. You let it come down. But that coin never came down.
These stories though are extremely rare, and a lot of people, if this happens to you and you made a lot of money, you're probably one of very few people that caught that sort of, and I suppose this is where the misconception comes from as well, where people basically come to crypto expecting to make those insane there's legends circulate around, where you're like expecting, oh, this is going to be me, like win on a lottery. But if you don't know how to trade, I find that this is a very interesting, you don't even have to understand what RSI is. You just have to have a simple access to TradingView, set your alerts, because these are so easy to do on your screen.
That's trading for dummies.
And basically, this is trading for dummies. It is. It's amazing. Set your alerts for like as high or in between 80 to 90 RSI. Sell some and rebuy when it hits back again. So there are so many ways to trade, and there are so many ways to do crypto and come to this space, and without overthinking, without stressing yourself to the nines. But it takes practice, like you said. It takes time to understand these things. You can trade on 1 minute chart. I've done it before. It didn't go well. It wasn't my style. I much prefer 15 to 1 hour, 4 hour time frames. And the indicator, the trader's reality indicator, it's my best friend. I'm the worst probably at explaining it, but I don't want to explain it to you guys. I want you to go and watch him. If you are interested in...
Here's the thing, Marta. It's not that I like it. It's that we're in a bear market. I don't have a choice. If I need to adapt. And as a trader, if I'm not making money on the 4 hour time frame, let me try on the 1 hour time frame. If I'm not making money on the 1 hour time frame, and my goal is to, this is how I make a living, I need to reduce those time frames. I need to go down to a time frame that makes me money. And fortunately, the experience allows me to do that. Somebody coming to the market can never go into 1 minute time frame and expect to make money. It's not possible. It's not possible. And I still take my losses like everyone else. Just because I know how to trade doesn't mean that I have zero losses in the 1 minute time frame. I'm losing 20, 30%. But at least I'm making money. I'm coming out ahead almost every day. Sometimes I don't make any money, or I come out losing a couple $100. But lately, it's been really good, and I've been doing very well. It doesn't mean that I'm always going to stay that way, but I'll take it while I can. I'll take it. The point is, you have to adapt. And you have to, but it takes you putting in the time and the effort to wanting to understand and wanting to learn. If you don't do that and you're just listening to Twitter and YouTube to get your direction, you're never going to make it.
No. Well, on that note, I think we're going to wrap this up.
Okay.
We've had... I'm going to have to look back, but we've had, I'd say, over an hour anyway of amazing alpha here shared with you guys. Had definitely a few guests. Hopefully, as we keep doing this, there's going to be more and more people tuning in live.
Yes.
I do think this is going to be very invaluable time for anybody who's coming into crypto. Learning from Bleeding Crypto himself as well. He has a ton of experience. He's sharing his time, his knowledge with you guys. Take this opportunity. And it's a great time as well to just spend your evenings or whatever time it is where you live. You can also replay those lives. Go back. I'm going to work obviously on a few little kinks that are still in the way, and hopefully deliver you much better streams in the future. But it had to be done. just find out where
Yes.
the mistakes are being made. I had a great pleasure anyway. I hope you've enjoyed this as well.
I have very much, very much. Thank you
Awesome.
so much for having me. I really appreciate
So
it.
we're going to say goodbye to all the viewers, and we'll catch you hopefully shortly, guys. My computer is... Come on, come on. Now. Awesome.